achievements. However, we are striving to improve. The Earned Credit Program, or ECP, which I mentioned earlier, is an incentive program that rewards contractors that hire and retain qualified minorities, women, eligible offenders or exonerated individuals, and veterans with bid credits that can be applied to future contract bids. ECP, or Earned Credit Program, bid credits can afford contractors and subcontractors a bidding advantage on a highly competitive industry. Since the program began in 2007, 25 contracts valued at more than $222 million have been awarded based on the use of ECP credits alone. ECP is not only a great program for contractors, but also a great program for the community. Since the program began in 2007, there have been more than 250 people hired through the Earned Credit Program. The community impact of hiring these individuals is tremendous. More than $13 million in wages have been paid to ECP workers since 2007. ECP allows individuals the opportunity to begin careers in construction and support their families, as well as fostering economic growth in communities of need. The Workforce Development Technical Assistance Program will launch in 2017 to increase the number of historically underrepresented individuals employed by the heavy highway and transportation construction industry, establishing a regional training center throughout the Chicagoland area. Next slide. To summarize, I believe that building a successful diversity program requires strong and robust leadership, active and consistent stakeholder involvement, and an honest commitment to raising the bar. And with that, I say thank you to you, and thank you for your patience, and I will be expecting your questions. Thank you so much.
Next, we have Jones Apeki to tell us about the Milwaukee Bucks entertainment block. I want to tell you a little bit about Jones Apeki. 23 years she's been at Hunziker as their diversity and community outreach coordinator. She's very proud of Hunziker's track record of meeting and exceeding diverse contracting and hiring goals. She's actually been part of over $350 million in contracts being awarded to minority women and small disadvantaged firms. Her experience goes all the way back to Wisconsin Center and Miller Park projects. So Joan has been around for a long time. She's worked on projects for clients in public and private sectors.
I know, I gets it, I'm super old.
But the other point, great resource, right? So I hope you're soaking this up, lots of resources, right? I know people like Transmart crosses the state line and does work in Illinois and Wisconsin. Joan's going to tell you about some more of this good work going on right here, changing the face of Milwaukee. Jones, effective.
Hi, thanks. Yeah, Randy Crump and I both, neither one of us had gray hair when we started out. That's how long ago it was. First, I want to thank Brian Mitchell and Ugo. I'm here because of them. This is the vertical stuff we're talking about. This is the outreach that NAMAC does. So I appreciate the opportunity because I have a project that's bidding in a couple weeks and it's going to be awarded, and you're going to be in the ground in June of this year. So I'm going to be here for the next couple days. I'll be in sessions, the half-hour sessions today. Tomorrow I'm in the matchmaking sessions. So nobody will leave here without information on this project if you're interested in bidding it. I also want to introduce to you John Jansen, who is our project executive for this project. John will be, all your bids will go to John. John and I have worked together. We did West Lawn together. We actually did a Century City project together. He and I did the MSOE project, the parking deck with the soccer field on top, which was the first project done in the Perk. For Milwaukee County and with MSOE. So we kind of get put on all the super important high profile projects. So John brings a great deal of experience to this project. The Milwaukee Entertainment Block, it's owned by the Milwaukee Bucks. They're two private development contractors or businesses. Icon Venue Group is the owner's rep for all the Milwaukee Bucks work. We're the construction manager. General Gensler, based in Chicago, is the lead designer. Rinka Chung, local, is doing a good deal of the building and the concept design. And the office of James Burnett is an internationally known landscape architect, and they're also involved in the project. The project itself is really, it's important because it's really kind of the connector of all the different projects that the Bucks have done to date. So it is the front door of the arena and kind of ties to the parking structure they're building as well as the training facility. But more importantly, this is going to be the front door of tying to Milwaukee, to Old World 3rd Street, ultimately to King Drive. And you can see here the architecture itself really kind of harkens back to the Milwaukee's industrial history. It's going to be a kind of 24/7, 12 months out of the year entertainment district. It's a challenge because the Bucks and Marquette, who play in the arena, will be doing so in winter, but they're looking to do, there's a water feature, they're looking to do farmers markets and street hockey and basketball and all those kinds of activities, so that there'll be dining and retailing activities throughout the year. Okay, next. As you can see, it's the front door of the arena. The project on the north is Juneau Avenue. On the south is Highland. You can see 4th Street is abandoned, and that's really the heart of the plan itself. You can see the main gateways to Old World 3rd Street, the Moderne, and then some existing bars that really will tie in all the entertainment within that area. Next. Vike has taken down the parking deck. That's an old photo. If you drive past the 4th and Highland right now, you will see a big pile of rubble, and it's absolutely gone. So we're a little bit ahead of schedule as we move forward. And overall, this project is going to include everything from earthwork, site utilities, landscaping, trucking, all the way to, there's going to be sprinkler systems in the buildings, there's going to be site specialty items, there will be elevators within the 3 buildings, there will be loading dock equipment, ceramic tile, drywall, acoustical tile, so it's a really nice mix of vertical construction with the 3 buildings, along with flat work and a more traditional kind of DOT type work. The first bid package is coming out on, it's bidding on March 14th. Now, you might think we would name the first bid package 1, but everyone who's really a mathematician knows that the first number is 0. So this is bid package 0. And bid package 0 will be available on February 17th. It will be available online through iSquareFoot. The advertisements will be placed, and you'll start seeing them next week. They're already placed already, but you'll start seeing them around then. We're going to have a pre-bid conference on March 1st. The time and location to be determined. Parking is a challenge right now on the site, so we're looking at potentially doing the Bradley Center Turner Hall. We'll let you know. That'll all be in the iSquareFoot advertisement. The project itself is going to bid Tuesday, March 14th. The bids will go to John Jansen. They will be received in a lump sum proposal at 5 o'clock, before 5 o'clock, and they must be received on or before the bid opening date and time. They can be mailed, hand-delivered, faxed, emails, and again, they're submitted to John. This first package, 0, includes site utilities, earthwork, site prep, miscellaneous metals, structural steel, concrete, mostly flat work, site electric, landscaping, irrigation, carpentry, and site furnishing. Next. This project, like all the work that is being done as part of the Milwaukee Bucks, has a 25% SDE requirement. It also has a 40% residency preference program, RPP requirement. Because this project was long in planning, because the demo started back in October, November, the RPP rules are the old rules. So we do get some benefit with of the new rules, like all the RPP workers are grandfathered, so that 5-year cutoff is gone. But we still go by the old rules for RPP. Also, I have another project that is going to be bidding, and I wanted to mention it to you because we're working for Summerfest right now for Milwaukee World Festivals. They're doing a gateway, lakefront gateway mid-gate project. It's currently, we've got some site utilities in the ground, and that project, documents are going to be available February 9th. So they're going to be available tomorrow. We're looking for asphalt paving, fencing, landscaping, site concrete, masonry, metals, and painting. And that project, there's a pre-bid on February 14th. And that project bids, when's the date on that? Prior to February 9th. Oh, the 22nd, February 22nd. Again, I will be here for the next couple days, so I'll have information on both projects. That's it.
All right, I know Arrow Creek heard that, right? Arrow Creek Pro Electric, they like piped up like, uh-oh, right? Or you were already on top of it, right? Okay, good. All right, I want to bring you the last presenter, again, keeping you in downtown Milwaukee there. BMO Harris is building a new office tower. Again, more opportunity, diverse opportunity. I want Mr. Mike Curley to come and tell you about that. Keep writing down your questions. You heard Joan say she's going to stay here. We will have access to them with our project detail discussions. So please make sure you take advantage of that and keep writing down your questions. Mr. Mike Curley.
Thank you. So the first thing I have to do is say thank you to you guys for a personal reason. My father-in-law is born and raised in Janesville, and so just by allowing me to be on this stage, I get to go home and jump 3 notches in the family pecking order, because I am now no longer an East Coaster in his mind. So thank you for that. So on December 7th, we announced that we're building a new headquarters building here in downtown Milwaukee. What I wanted to do here, because we're at a little bit different stage in our planning cycle than some of the other projects you've heard about, is kind of take you through a case study of how we got from 770 North Water, where we are today, to what we're going to be at the BMO Harris Financial Center in the future. So let's go to the next slide. So this is today. It's not exactly what you would describe as a modern, sleek, go-forward building. So, and that parking garage looks fantastic, clearly. Just the sign on it took it up a couple notches. So what we're dealing with in 770 is an approximately 50-year-old building. It's 330,000 feet. It's a little bit funky on the inside. There are half floors that were originally designed for law firm libraries. There are offices in places I can't even imagine working. There's a lot of stuff going on there that was challenging for us as we started looking at this building. And I don't even need to tell you, law firm space that was built in 1970, which is some of what we took back from Godfrey and Kahn, is old. It's a lot of browns and oranges. So we were challenged with how do we make the building we're in today work for the future. So we looked at a couple options. We looked at renovating 770 from top to bottom, making it a new modern office building. We looked at consolidating into an alternate downtown location that already exists. We also stopped and looked at, hey, let's build a new building, and where can we do that in Milwaukee? And then finally, we had Mark Ergens came to us with an idea that none of us had conceived of, which is build where you are today. If you can go to the next slide. So as we walked through the process, we said, well, a building built in 1968, it's unlikely we will ever get that to be a modern building with all the things that we need. So that made, and quite frankly, it would be very costly to do that kind of job while we were in place in the building. Even with a little bit of swing space, it was going to be really difficult to move around that many people and do it in a cost-effective fashion. When we looked at moving to another location in downtown Milwaukee, one of the really interesting, cool things right now in Milwaukee is the office market's relatively tight. There's virtually no building in downtown Milwaukee today that could accommodate our full need. So that more or less took going to an existing building off the table. And finally, we looked at developing in a new site, and there were a number of great developers, both local and national, that came to us and showed us some beautiful buildings that they could build in Milwaukee for us. But the last consideration that we had when we were going through this whole process was 770 is right in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, and it's a part of our history, both as M&I and as BMO Harris. And so we wanted to make sure, no matter what we did, that would always be a positive image in the community. So that led us when Mark Ergen said, hey, I can build a building on your existing site, and we can redevelop the old building into something that is a positive, new, go-forward piece of the community. We said, this is really amazing and checks all the boxes for us. So, as you look up here, you can see the light blue is the existing tower today. And I don't know if all of you have seen all of the different news releases, but what we're essentially going to do is take that beautiful parking deck and we're knocking it down. And that's going to come down starting late summer, early fall. And then they're going to build approximately 25-story office tower on that site. And when they finish that in late 2019 and we move in, they're going to start working on redeveloping 770 into, there are a variety of options, hotel, office space, condos that they're still working through. But we're very happy with the idea that we've got a brand new, beautiful building that's going to be a symbol in the community and show our commitment to it, as well as making sure the history of M&I and BMO Harris is well represented going forward by creating something that's still useful and positive in the community. Next slide. And it looks pretty good to me. When you think about, can you click all the way back to that first one? Sorry. Well, yeah, that compared to, now if you can go forward, sorry. To that, I think we're making a huge step, and it's going to be great for the downtown. I tried to get the same perspective on Google Earth, and I couldn't because apparently it doesn't take pictures from 4 stories up, but this is something we're really excited to do. From a particulars perspective, we're still very early in the process. Actually, if you can go to the next slide. Oop, even more, one more. We can go back to the pretty pictures. Oop. So, Ergens is developing the building, working with us, but they're going to be the main they're going to be the main developer, and they're going to be going out for general contractors. I think there are probably some people that will be here that are involved in bidding on the general contracting job there. And then BMO Harris will be building out about 130,000 square feet of space in that building, which is a pretty sizable chunk of office space. Right now, we're starting to develop the RFP for that project. The likelihood is that will be going out towards the end of 2017. And then in 2018, we're going to be looking for a lot of different subcontractors and working with our GC to determine who's working on the project. At BMO Harris, customer as a supplier and local involvement is a huge, not concern, but a huge priority for us. So we're going to be obviously reaching out into the community in early 2018 and starting to work with businesses who want to be a part of this project. Oop, you can keep going. Oh, wow. Well, there was a slide about what we do in the community up here, and I think I've got most of it memorized, so we'll see if I can wing this one. One of the things I wanted to kind of bring up is BMO Harris is very committed to the community, not just with the building that we're building, but over the last year we donated over $4 million to local nonprofits. We continue to sponsor the United Way as one of the prime sponsors for the Greater Milwaukee United Way organization. We also work with the Boys and Girls Club and the Marquette Initiative, and we're working actually in a very interesting project that's going on now that you guys may see in the near future. Our Fond du Lac branch in the Sherman area is actually about to get rebuilt. So we're going to be in the next little bit looking for people to come back and help us do that. So if you have any questions, I'm probably not the best on exactly how you can get involved in the contracting, but I can help you figure out where the right people are to make those contacts and get you guys set up for success and hopefully working to help us build our future.
Yeah, in Illinois, for the DBE certification, what it exists is a unified certification program. I'm not sure that Wisconsin has a similar program where a number of agencies have reciprocity. And so there are 5 agencies that issue the DBE certification, among them the Chicago Transit Authority, or CTA, PACE, which is the agency that runs the suburban train system in Illinois. Then there's also Metra, PACE, which is PACE is the one that runs the bus system, the suburban bus system. I'll take it back. Metra runs the suburban train system. The city of Chicago, and then missing one. There's a 5th agency that issues DBE certifications. We accept, the Illinois Tollway does not issue certifications. We accept the DBE certification from any one of these agencies, and in addition, because the funding, our funding allows us, gives us that flexibility, we also accept the City of Chicago's MBWB certification, the Cook County MBWB, and the federal 8A certification, SBA 8A. So we have multiple certifications that we accept.
Do you take NMSDC and WIBank?
No, we do not.
Okay.
We only accept certifications that have been constitutionally tested. That's a very key aspect of our rationale for accepting only certain types of certifications.
All right, go ahead, Julius.
Will any of the projects require contractors to have surety bonds?
Okay, I don't want to take over, but is your question whether we require bonding?
Right.
We require bonding on all our projects, on all our construction projects. That is one requirement that we have based on our state statutes and the requirements of underwriters. It is anything above $50,000 has to be bonded.
All right, we got,
Oh, okay.
all right, Rick, go ahead. I see that question over there, just a moment. Go ahead, Rick.
Yes, on the construction side, we require bonding as well.
All right, there's a gentleman there in the green.
Is there a central hub or database for all RPP certifications, maybe new and old? There's some individuals that have old RPPs that still want to proceed with that. Is there a central database for reference to find out?
This is Randy Crump, and related to the streetcar, I would suggest that WRTP Big Step is the proper place to find that information. As a consultant on many of the major projects, we work not only with them, but also directly with the city of Milwaukee to verify that information. And since I have the mic, I'm gonna say something about one project. You know, I mentioned Northwestern Mutual a moment ago, so I know something about working with quiet companies. We have a modesty in this town. We don't boast about the great things that we're doing. And BMO Harris failed to mention one thing. I got a phone call from Ergens saying they want to have local DBE, SBE participation on the project, and they don't have a penny of government money. I think that's something that ought to be applauded.
Thanks, Randy.
Go, Paul, you're the last question.
Yeah,
Go.
my question is to Mr. Gustavo. Gustavo, how can small businesses participate in small business?
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to speak up. I can't hear you.
Yeah.
Come on up, Go, Paul. Come closer, come closer, come closer. This is a friendly thing. Come,
How
come.
can small businesses participate in the small business set aside contractor program?
To be able to participate on the Illinois Tollway Small Business Set Aside Program, you must have, first of all, right now, the program is exclusively for construction firms. So they must meet the size standards as set by the state of Illinois, which is no more than $14 million of revenue annually for construction or construction-related service. You must become registered with the state's procurement office. They manage that program. It's a very quick registration. All you have to do is provide evidence that you have no more than $14 million of annual revenue and that you're an Illinois business. That is the second requirement. I understand that the governor's office is looking into that second requirement. Governor Rommer is not a friend of keeping things just in Illinois and by open competition. I hear that there may be an opportunity to change that second requirement and broaden to just, anyone who meets that size standard and be able to compete for those contracts.
So I know that there was another couple questions. Right, now they have questions. Now it's not, okay, so, okay, now let's, the last, Lenny had her hand, and then Paul has a person right there. Because this is for DBEs and your DBEs, we're gonna hold here. So we'll make sure. All right, Lenny, what was yours?
It seems like most of the opportunities are geared to construction. Is there any opportunity for professional services or
I assume this is general question?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
The opportunity regarding the airport is primarily not construction. The professional services side of that, with that RFP, when it comes in, the professional service side will have to start hitting the ground immediately because they have to deal with all the things associated with design, leasing, real estate, things of that sort. The one that I'm suggesting is what I call the long money, which is the concessionaire side of business. And again, that's a low-hanging fruit. I think also what was talked about with the Bucks Entertainment and with the streetcar, typically design and construction is a flash in the pan on any project. It's those other services that these things bring. Security, real estate, all those things, entertainment, food, beverage, all those services are available, and that's the reason I had suggested, think out the box, look at your current business model, modify it as needed, and just lastly, just to categorize it and put it, see where the money is going, follow the green, adjust appropriately to capture those opportunities.
And Rick will be around to give you insights. He promised me he was staying the whole time. So hold him to that. Cheryl, is that you? Interstate is certified in about 40 different states, so she knows about business. So this question is gonna be good. Go ahead, Cheryl.
This is for the streetcar and the Illinois Tollway. Are these all mandatory PLA projects?
Could you repeat it?
For a PLA project.
PLA?
Yes, project labor agreements.
PLAs are not, were eliminated under this code. So we have no PLAs. Now that said, every single road builder that does business with Illinois, it has a contract with the unions. We don't see that being broken up anytime soon, although negotiations are happening here. It does cause a little bit of a issue, but legally speaking, the Illinois Tollway does not require PLAs anymore.
If I could just go back for a second on professional services, while it's not directly related to the streetcar, when I made the comment that the streetcar is likely to be around for 20 years, you need to understand that it drives development. So if you're a developer or a designer, start looking at what happens in other cities within 2 to 3 blocks of the streetcar. There are likely to be apartment buildings, retail, other things. People want to be around modes of transportation. And as the streetcar was being developed, I had a number of developers that asked me, is it going to happen? Is it really happening? Because they want to stake their claim.